Hello everyone, this presentation will cover the budget template that is submitted with the proposal template. To begin, here are a few tips to consider as you prepare your budget. Make sure all your requested costs are allowable. If your budget includes a substantial amount of unallowable costs, it may affect how the project is ranked. Therefore, we strongly encourage you to reference the allowable and unallowable costs and activities table to determine allowable costs and ensure consistent treatment of costs. Please explain why you need the items and how they relate to the project activities. Ensure that all your cost estimates are reasonable and realistic. We understand that at this point your budget is the best estimate based on current information. However, we ask that you do your homework to ensure your estimates aren't over or understated. Applicants are responsible for ensuring all costs are justified and directly support the project objectives. Lastly, please double check your math to make sure you have the correct total. Attention to detail shows that you took care in preparing your proposal. And please start your applications early. Don't wait until the day applications are due to start your budget template. One last item before we get into the budget template is the difference between the direct and indirect costs. Direct costs can be identified specifically with a particular award, project, or activity, or directly assigned to an award, project, or activity relatively easily and with a high degree of accuracy. On the other hand, indirect costs, which are also known as facilities and administrative costs, are incurred for common or joint objectives and cannot be easily identified specifically with a particular award, project, or activity. These typically include costs associated with running your organization as a whole, like administrative, staff salaries, rent, utilities, and office supplies. As we go through the following slides, keep in mind that all costs listed in categories A through G should be direct costs, and indirect costs should be listed in category H only. This is what the budget template looks like. I know it's difficult to read here, but you can find a version of this document in the handout section of the GoTo webinar. In the amount requested column, which is in red, you'll enter the total amount of specialty crop block grant program funds you're requesting for each budget category, rounded to the nearest whole dollar. In the description of costs or activities column, you'll list the costs or activities to be covered. A description is required for each budget category in which funds are requested, except for category H, which is the indirect cost, and category I, which is the total specialty crop block grant program funds requested. We will be going over each budget category, but for instructions on what information to provide in the description, please reference page 8 of the RFP. Also note that at the bottom of the budget template, you will find links to the General Service Administration, the GSA website, and the GS15 Step 10 rate for your area. You will find relevant per diem and lodging rates for travel on the GSA website, which locality pay rates needed to determine approximate pay for contractors will be listed on the website of the Office of Personnel Management. A completed sample budget is available on page 17 of the RFP. Please note that this is just an example provided to illustrate what a completed budget might look like. The first category is category A, salary and wages. This is where you'll list the total estimate cost of salary and wages for time spent working on the project by employees of the applicant organization. In the description column, please list the titles of each employee and the amount of time they'll be working on the project. For hourly employees, that would be the number of hours, but for salaried employees, that would be the percent of full-time equivalent. Please note that we do not need to see a year-by-year breakdown, only the total amount requested for each. Category B is fringe benefits. Fringe includes benefits like paid leave, health insurance, pensions, and unemployment, and is calculated as a percent of an employee's salary. In the amount requested column, list the total estimated fringe benefits costs for employees of the applicant organization determined in accordance with the applicant's established fringe benefits policy. In the description column, provide the approximate fringe benefit rate and the types of benefits included. Category C is travel. Under amount requested, list the total estimated cost of travel for all individuals except contractual personnel. When preparing your travel cost estimate, please use the per diem amounts required by the U.S. General Service Administration or GSA. These rates vary by location, so look up the appropriate rates using the GSA website. You will find a link to the GSA website included at the bottom of the budget template. Although your budget is only an estimate at this stage, please use the GSA per diem rates to ensure your costs are not excessively high. Note that per diem rates for the first and last days of travel are not the same as full travel days. Also keep in mind that state-funded and state-sponsored travel to states with discriminatory laws is prohibited. You can find the current list of states subject to California's ban in the RFP on page 14. In the description column, describe the travel that will be needed to accomplish the project's objectives. Category D is scientific research equipment. This is where you'll list the cost to purchase any scientific research equipment needed for your project. To be considered scientific research equipment, an item must cost $5,000 per unit or more and be used only for research, scientific, or other technical activities. This includes items like specialized microscopes, spectrometers, and other lab equipment. In the description column, list the name of the items to be purchased. It's important to clarify that purchasing general purpose equipment is not allowable under the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. That means you cannot purchase any non-scientific items that cost more than $5,000 with Specialty Crop Block Grant Project funds. That includes things like vehicles, refrigerators, and tractors. However, costs to rent general purpose equipment may be allowable and would be included in Category G, Other. Category E is supplies. Enter the total estimated cost for supplies in the amount requested column. Supplies refer to items that cost less than $5,000 per unit and are used exclusively for the objectives of the project. It is important that you do not include indirect costs in this category, including general use office supplies or facilities costs. In the description column, list the types of supplies the project anticipates purchasing. Category F is for the project's estimated contractual cost. For the purpose of Specialty Crop Block Grant Program, any organization other than the applicant that will work on the project and receive grant funds is considered a contractor. For amounts requested, list the total estimated cost of any work to be performed by organizations other than the applicant. Typical costs under contractual include consultants or project cooperators from another organization. This amount should include all of the budget costs associated with each contractor, including salary, travel, supplies, etc. In the description column, list the name of the contractors, if known, and the type of services needed. Salary and hourly requests should follow the U.S. General Schedule pay scale for the locality in which the employee will be working. Additional justification will need to be provided for employees whose salaries exceed the GS-15 Step 10. Note that the GSA Office of Management and Budget has developed guidelines for determining appropriate rates for contractors. A link to this information can be found at the bottom of the budget template. Please ensure you do not exceed the maximum allowable rate. Category G is for any other cost. For amount requested, provide the estimated total of all other project costs. Examples of costs that should be listed under other include registration fees, speaker fees, fees to publish project results in professional journals, costs for data collection and analysis, and meeting space or equipment rentals. In the description column, be sure to provide a brief explanation of the types of costs included. Category H is where you will indicate the amount of indirect costs requested for your project. Remember that the indirect costs are the facilities and administrative costs that cannot easily be tied directly to the activities of the grant. The maximum allowable indirect rate under Specialty Crop Block Grant Program is 8% of total personnel costs. To calculate this amount, add Category A, salary and wages, plus Category B, fringe benefits, and multiply the total by 0.08. The amount you list under Category H cannot exceed this number. For this budget category, no description is required. Category I is where you will indicate the total Specialty Crop Block Grant Program funds requested. Add up the amount requested from budget categories A through H and enter this amount under Category I. This amount must match the amount you listed under your funds requested in the proposal template. Again, the total funds requested must be between $250,000 or $1 million. And also, for this budget category, no description is required. And lastly, Category J is program income. If your project will generate income in the amount requested column, list the total estimated amount of income that could be generated by your project. Under the description column, explain the activities that would generate program income and how the income would be used to support the project objectives. Please note that program income cannot be used as profit for an organization or to support unallowable costs. Also note that program income is not required and does not influence scoring. Finally, there are a number of resources and links available on the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program website to help as you are completing your proposal. These include the allowable and unallowable costs and activities table, the GS pay scale, and the RFP.